everybody. Welcome to Soapy Box. I'm Jenna Lee Bell. Today we have our co-content creators, Tyler Bell, Nicole Brannick, joining us to talk about a matter near and dear to all of our hearts, how to keep more of our money in our pockets.
Yep.
And with the rise of tipping culture, that might be more difficult. And because of the crazy inflation, we have to talk about things like splitting meals, like how do we do that appropriately and the protocol and etiquette behind that. But I think we're going to start with tipping culture because it's a hot item right now on the airwaves. I've seen some TikToks and Reddits go viral of some servers who aren't really happy about their tips, and they are getting quite a bit of backlash. And I think the reason why they're getting the backlash is there's a lot of people my age who we were servers when we were in our 20s. And the typical gratuity was 15%. If you went above and beyond, of course, you could do better. And you had a little bit of control over how much money you make because you could bust your butt and like really go for it. And I think you can still do that now. And I don't really see this entitlement that I saw in these videos in the restaurants that we go to. Like, I think our waitstaff's pretty cool. We start to know them by name. We like them. We want to take care of them. They do go above and beyond.
Yeah.
I do have a problem with the entitlement of it, like that it's an expectation and not a gift, because I too made only $1.90 an hour. I think in my day, because this was 30 years ago, and I get that society has changed since then, it was the 15%. And we tipped waiters, waitresses, servers. We tipped hairdressers, pet groomers, sky cab. We tipped housekeeping at hotels. We even would tip the chef too if the meal was extraordinary, which I don't see a lot of that happen anymore.
No.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I
hear compliments to the chef.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But not
Interesting.
tips.
The tipping culture has really changed, I've noticed. Maybe COVID had something to do with it, because I noticed that we were tipping more and differently because people were out during the pandemic doing jobs that we couldn't do because we were either shut down, non-essential, or I just truly didn't want to leave my house. So I did over tip because I thought, well, you guys are out there braving the world. We'll give you some extra money. And I think that was okay, but I think it started to carry over. And I don't know if it was COVID that started this, but I see everybody wants in on the action now. We've got the Chipotle person ringing up your order, wants a tip for your burrito.
Yep.
And we want a tip at the barista at Starbucks. They're tipping at Starbucks now. And then we also have the really fun one. This is actually the one that irritates me, is on Amazon. Your order fulfiller now would like a tip. Okay? So apparently Jeff Bezos and his fourth super yacht can't pay you, but you want me to pay you.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah. I find that one irritating.
Yeah.
So I want to start with, like, who do you think we should tip? Or who do you guys tip already?
I mean, I usually tip when the offer is asked, I guess, sometimes just because of like a subconscious thing. Like you go to like the counter orders, right? And then you go take your food and go seat yourself, and they bring the food out to you, or they just deliver it to you right there because they prepare it in front of you. And it's usually like 15, 20, 25%, or, 10 to 20% or whatever it is. And I'll usually do like the low tips for those because it's like whatever.
Yeah, you feel bad not to.
Or you feel obligated to because it's right there and you have no choice.
When it's like an order and it's like $1.50, I'm like, whatever. It's not a big deal to me. But afterwards, I'm kind of like, I mean.
You did all the work.
Yeah. I didn't, do this at McDonald's. There's a whole list of things like I feel like you should, though, because of like etiquette. I don't know, like my barber, I would do that. A tattoo artist, I would do that.
Yeah.
A tattoo artist get tipped.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I think an Uber. I would tip an Uber.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I tip my Uber. It's not that I don't tip them. It's that there's so many people that require a tip now. So it's hard to probably budget. And I would think even for younger people, it would be even more difficult to budget.
It's hard to navigate what's appropriate, what's not, especially when you go to places like big coffee chains where they look at you and they're like, would you like to tip right now? You don't have to, but you can. And you're like, yeah, well,
guess I
you
will.
just did ask me. So yes. So I had a funny story. I went to Dutch Bros and I picked up drinks for me and Tyler, and she got my order wrong. So I told her that she got it wrong and she had to fix it. And at the end, she was really upset with me that she had to fix it. And then she asked me, she's like, do you want to tip me? You don't have to. And I was like, no, it's okay. And it was really awkward and really bad. She was like, oh, okay, And so at that point I left and I felt bad because I was like, is there an obligation to tip? Like, are they not paying them right?
Or were you feeling the manipulation?
It was a little bit of a manipulation.
Yeah.
So she treated you poorly and then wanted a tip.
Yeah.
And it made you feel bad.
Yeah.
She
that
made
you
me
did
feel
it.
really
Yeah.
bad.
And
Yeah,
in the
that's
olden
weird.
days, if we wanted a tip, we made their experience good.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm not the type to not tip either. I'm usually always pretty generous, even if it's like $1 for a coffee or something.
Yeah.
But that was one of those moments. It was so weird and kind of rude and awkward that I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
You
made my experience not that
Yeah.
great. So I don't really
Yeah.
feel like I want to contribute to your tip right now
Yeah.
for $2. And you're going to make me feel weird and gross about myself for not doing it. That's weird. That's
It is
weird.
It is. And it's like, this is what I don't like about it. It's now an obligation. And I do understand that waiters and waitresses, for the most part, make less in many states, much less than minimum wage. And so the idea would be is that the customer fills that gap. So I don't really understand this thinking that the customer should have to fill the gap.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're not making the employer pay it.
I agree.
And I think that, you guys just went to a place in LA. What was it called?
John and Vinny's. Yeah. That's where this whole conversation started. I feel
Yeah.
like we went and got pizza, and it's already kind of a high-end pizza joint in LA. It's really hard to get into. You usually have to make reservations weeks in advance.
They got this sardine pizza.
It's really good.
But don't like stars go there.
Yeah, like that's how
Yeah.
I found out about it. Kim Kardashian posted it with Pete Davidson.
Okay.
And so I told Tyler I really wanted to go on one of our trips, and it ended up being our favorite restaurant. It's really, really good. But one thing that I noticed the last time we went for my birthday last month, was they have a whole service charge on the bottom. And it's one thing if it's an included gratuity. I'm okay with that most of the time. So on the receipt, there's an 18% service charge, and it has a whole paragraph kind of stating this is not a tip, and it goes to everybody in the restaurant and towards their establishment and different things that you really don't know where that money's going towards. So you already spent 18% on that charge, and they're expecting you to pay another 20% on your server. So it's
weird.
kind of, it was at a point where it's like our check was so high that I was like, I can't really afford to tip the server more than like $1 or $2.
It's so strange.
And
especially when it's like such like a vague thing that you're already giving
Yeah, it was
20% of your bill to.
And did you know about it beforehand, or did you
No,
get
it was-
surprised with at the end?
I was surprised with it. And so at first I totally thought that it was just an included gratuity until I read into it, and I was like, oh no, I don't even know where this money goes.
I don't know. I guess if I saw that then I would think, oh, this is another gratuity, so I
Yeah.
don't have to tip more.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that is what's happening to that restaurant, because we went on to Daily Mail to kind of look at it because it was such a crazy story. And there is a class action suit
Yeah.
filed by the servers who aren't really making tips now because of this added fee, which the idea, I believe, was to make sure everyone made at least a minimum wage of like $16 and some cents.
Yeah.
Whatever
And
it was.
I don't think we should feel bad that we didn't do an additional 20% tip. I feel like that's more between the employee and the employer at that point, right?
Well, also it's kind of like you want to just trust that they're paying their workers a good wage
Yeah.
if they're taking that money from you, right?
If they're making, 20 some dollars an hour, I guess maybe they're not expecting a tip because this is how they're getting paid now.
Yeah. Yeah, but for LA,
That's
for a
not
restaurant
enough.
in LA, they're probably already making about $15 an hour at any restaurant just based on no tips. So it's like they're getting pay cuts compared to everybody else in the industry.
So this is what I don't understand. And I didn't read this whole part of it, but I'm like, so if you want to pay your servers at a high-end restaurant where you already have stars coming in, you already have, they have a wine sommelier there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not like your regular Domino's pizza
No,
joint.
it's nice.
a really nice
It's
restaurant.
like a craft quality deal. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're serving a high-end food. Let's say your pizza's $20. Why wouldn't you just charge 24 and pay your staff appropriately?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And when I was researching this topic on Reddit, it was kind of interesting how foreigners look at USA tipping because they don't have the tip culture that we do. They just assume you should do your job because you're getting paid for it and don't understand why we would pay them additional for it. And the argument that people won't pay the extra for food is lost because of New Zealand, how they do it. You know, they don't do the tipping thing, but their food costs the same as ours. So where's all the money going?
It's interesting. Me and Nicole went to Europe though. And on the other hand of that, like we got to experience where they didn't, focus on like building their tips, but they didn't really focus on the customer service or the quality of like service that you got. So, I mean, because they're already getting paid a fair amount and they kind of, I don't know, it felt like a little snobby feeling sometimes when we went to like a decent place.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's not everywhere in Europe, but there's a lot of places, especially in Italy. If you tip them, they kind of take it as if you're looking at them like the help.
That's where tipping started from. It was like this aristocracy. It was a feudal system in Europe where it was kind of where you're looked down upon, where I'm throwing money to the peasants. I'm above you. And when they brought that over to the US, it was not for the same reasons, obviously. I think they really started the tipping in the US to avoid paying Black people wages because it was the end of slavery. And so instead of paying them, said, okay, you can be a porter or you can do this job, but it's just tips for you.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
It is.
It's crazy that carried on into our culture.
It's weird how it's like adapted and turned into a...
But I think it's also because restaurants are getting big because there's eager workers that are addicted to the fast money.
Yeah.
And that's why it's continued with that trend,
And what I find, I guess, interesting about it was the little bit of history I was reading about it was many people didn't want the tipping culture here. They just wanted people to pay their employees. And when you told me how much the assistant manager was making at that restaurant, how much?
I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I found it on a salary website, kind of like those job websites. It said $188,000.
For the assistant manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It could be wrong, but even if it is or isn't, that's crazy.
I mean,
Jeez.
it's a big job, right? But
Wow.
Not big enough.
but I don't know why.
Pretty well compensated, huh?
Yes.
Weird.
I guess we know why they need the extra 20% for you to cover.
I know you're getting paid like double or triple than even like medical specialists or anybody. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
That is true. So it's kind of interesting because you guys are younger, right? And you're going to have this experience and you're ready to pay for it and you're ready to tip, but you weren't expecting the extra 20%.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
know,
It made
I
me
feel
feel
like
really bad. I didn't like that whole
There's
experience.
a lot of like greedy businessmen out there owning companies, and I feel like they've been taught that like you can't be fair to get where you're at in life. You have to.
I think that is a culture as well. Like, we need to step on others to raise ourselves up, or I don't know why we can't all share in the wealth because a lot of those like employee-owned businesses do really well because the employees are invested in the success of the company.
Yeah.
We have a local company, Winco. It's a grocery store, but it's employee-owned, and people are truly invested in the success of that.
That's pretty cool.
It is, and
Oh, I didn't know
they
it's
come out
employee-owned.
with amazing retirements,
Yeah.
like really truly. So
Wow, that's really cool.
yes, and you don't have to be a CEO to come out with a huge retirement. And so I think it's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
That
I feel
they're
like restaurant business models are really interesting.
they are the most likely to go out of business.
Yeah.
So I get the risk part of it. But at some point, we have restaurants that we frequent that are obviously doing well. But I will say the staff does go above and beyond.
Yeah.
We kind of live in an area where
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just a thing. But
Yeah. Idaho's pretty cool, man.
we do. I mean, it's a different culture here. And so the videos that I'm seeing was like a girl in New York, and she served somebody 5 beers and it was $50 and she wanted 20% for that. And everyone kind of gave her some backlash that you turned around and grabbed 5 beers out of a cooler and now you're mad that you didn't get $20 and you got $10.
Yeah.
which brings me to the next question. You're going to Chili's or Johnny and Vic's?
John and Vinny's.
John and Vinny's. Chili or Johnny and Vinny's. It's, you're both two you are ordering.
Mm-hmm.
Why should the tip be so much more there than here?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is interesting.
You're getting the same amount of food. It's just a little bit more expensive.
And at Chili's, they may be refilling your drink more because you're drinking soda to get some salty food down.
I know it's weird because like specifically with John and Vinny's, they have an onboard sommelier that comes and brings you a really nice bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And it's like not just about like the food or like the service. Like you're also paying
about the
for a
experience,
big fat tip for a big nice bottle of wine that they're pushing on you pretty much,
So you're going to pay a tip on that as well.
Yep, exactly.
And you're going to pay probably an extravagant price on that as well.
Exactly.
Plus-
40% tip on a bottle of wine, right?
Yeah. That would make me not want the bottle of wine.
But you're one at John and Vinny's,
What do you guys think? How should tipping be? Like, should it be a flat rate? Or I think it's unfair to tip somebody not based on merit, just based on an entitlement.
I feel like there's kind of I don't know, I thought this in my head, but like maybe, they make below minimum wage in hopes that tips would compensate if they don't make like a certain amount that would be compensated to them from the owners or from the employers,
That's
right?
the rule.
Yeah.
So if they don't make enough in tips, the owner is supposed to come up with the shortfall.
Yeah, but
I
if
don't
it's
know
just
that
up
happens.
to minimum wage, I don't know if
that
that's fair
happens.
because I think starving is hard work. I don't know.
It is hard work. So I've done it. We've all worked in this industry. I don't remember a time I ever made minimum wage. Like less than minimum. Like I always made more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
At a restaurant because you don't just have one table. You have multiple tables. But I know, I think when you started working in the industry years ago, they do it different. Like you only get so many tables.
Yeah.
Like we got a section and you could have, 10, 15 tables, 20 a night.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I would have my busser who I'd bring. We were like a team. It was like a business.
Yeah.
So you're my busser. We're a team. We're on schedule together because we work good together.
Yeah.
You're going to make me more money. So we split our tips 50-50.
Yeah. It's kind of like barber, you go in and you pay for house for a chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was different too when I was growing up because if the hairstylist or the barber owned the establishment, you did not tip them.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
do
know that.
now.
Yeah.
You do now.
Yeah.
Or like medical spa services, you don't tip the owner, but you tip this is the protocol I've understood. I could be wrong. You tip for like facials and those kind of things, but for lasers or more medical procedures, you don't tip on those.
Oh,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
At your restaurant, Tyler, did you pull tips or was it more?
no. It wasn't a pool tip situation. It was just pretty regular. I don't know. But the bussers were like, it was a pretty like strong job. Like you were asked a lot, you're also kind of like a bar back and
Did they split
Different-
tips with you?
yeah. So it was kind of interesting. A lot of the servers and bartenders used to get upset that the bussers were getting tipped out as much as they were.
What?
Oh, that's odd.
I always felt like the busser made me make that money, but we were a team. Like
Yeah.
it was truly like we thought for each other. Hey, Billy, if you're out there.
Yeah, well, that matters because like you guys are coming together and
Yeah.
you guys are sharing money together and operating on a system. I feel like most days like it's a little bit less organized than that. And you have a little bit
Yeah.
less freedom in the restaurant environment to do that because I don't know, bosses want to be managing the sections appropriately and stuff, and it isn't like
Yeah, we were a little less managed. Like then I can see I can see it in a restaurant where it seems like people only get 4 tables at a time.
That's how it is at my restaurant that I
Oh, is
work
it?
at. It's
Okay.
about 3 or 4 tables.
oh wow,
You usually get cut once you hit about 10 parties.
Wow.
So they try
Yeah.
to keep everybody equal, but it's hard sometimes.
It is.
yeah. The restaurant I used to work at was around like 7 to 10 tables.
Wow.
Okay.
They
nice.
made good money.
For the night?
Yeah.
Oh, so we could do as many as we could handle.
Oh wow.
And then you just go back and forth between the servers. But, if the restaurant was slammed, if it was full, then it's probably all equal.
Yeah. It's interesting though, the pool tips situation in like a lot of like these newer
I
restaurants.
don't like that.
I don't really care.
wouldn't
I wouldn't know how I feel about that either. Like
I
at
think John and
Postino's?
Vinny's does that too.
Oh, they do? Yeah, it makes sense.
it sounded like some of their tips, does it go to the dishwasher and everybody?
I believe so. I don't know how it works though.
I think one of the things that it said on the story was that even the dishwashers and all of the people made more money than usual, which I did like.
That's cool.
But raise your food price because you're a specialty, unique place. You can do it. But there was some fear in them raising their price.
Yeah, so they put a whole description on their website, and that was actually a result of the class action lawsuit. Is they didn't even have it before. They just kind of had, we have a service charge. Sorry, you know.
Do you guys think that people should just raise their rates?
Just so you know what you're getting, and you don't have to feel like a
Yeah.
Jack?
Because at that point, like I said before, you're still paying for the experience. It's still kind of like a casual fine dining restaurant.
it's
So
nice. It's a fun place
you'll
to
pay
go.
more.
And you know
to
what? It's
go.
always full when we're there.
Always. Well, I mean, when I make reservations, I make them 2 or 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Every time.
What do you guys feel? How do you feel about when you are obligated to tip? So everywhere you go now, there's a sign at the front. And we kind of touched about it a little bit ago. I feel obligated, so I do it, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Do you guys do the same thing or?
It depends. Like, it really, for me, it depends how you're talking to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't know. Like, I do feel like if you're serving, the minimum for me is 20%. And even if it isn't like the greatest experience, you know, but when it comes to, you know, like I walk up to a counter, I order my meal and they give it to me right there. I'll do the minimum option that they have. Cause it's usually like $2, $3, whatever. I don't mind helping them out because this is what they signed up for, hoping that they get tips. But I don't know how I feel about when you maybe don't have good customer service and aren't providing an experience for me. I don't really care
Or let's
to.
say you walk up to a counter and you just buy a water bottle or
Yeah.
something that's pre-made.
Yeah.
And you have the tip option and they're just kind of like, you want a tip? You want to?
No.
Isn't that
And
strange?
it's like, huh,
I really
why?
don't, but I feel forced now.
But it's it's like
it
sales.
feels like you're almost bullied into it.
Well, it's like upselling, you know what
It's
I
the
mean? Like
hustle
when I used to
mentality,
fix
yeah.
phones, you know what I mean? I used to, it was a bartering system. Like you can, like I started high and they could kind of bring you low a little bit and people will get $60 screens. Some people will get 80 and it was the same deal, you know? And like, you just keep pushing for the highest thing you can do. Oh, here, get tempered glass. You need it. And if you don't get it, you might break your phone again, you know? Like, I don't know. It's,
So you guys are obviously younger than me. They're 26 years because that's when I had you.
yeah.
How do you think tipping has changed? Do you think there's anything weird or wrong going on?
I think that a lot of people are starting to ask for more tips, and yeah, I think like this urge to pressure, but for the most part, like if I don't, I don't have to do anything. Like I don't have to tip you at the end of
No.
the day. But what is actual etiquette? Like what is fair? And when there's like this new system for a Chipotle burrito where I have to tip it because they make it right in front of you, I don't really feel like I'm inclined or it would be a big deal for me to have to do that, you know?
No. I do think 20% is the new standard for servers. And
Yeah, fair.
so if I'm mad and get bad service, I'll punish them with a 20% tip. Where, you know what I mean? But I'll tip above that because I was in the industry and I know it's hard. I get it. But I don't really like, and I know what they make. I do
Yeah.
know they make less and the system hasn't changed. But I think what if they do change the system, like Johnny and Vinny's? Like they're trying to change the system, but then it sounds like the wait staff still expects the tips.
Well, I feel like they're not changing the system for them. They're changing it for themselves so they can pocket more money.
Right.
Yeah, that's not fair.
And so nothing's really going to change. So let's say we do change it and people just increase their price.
Yeah.
We're still going to tip.
It's just a new way to be greedy, really.
It's just another way to get more money.
Yep.
So it's just this never ending nightmare that we've created, unless we go to New Zealand and you just don't have to tip.
Yeah, right?
But like you said, you didn't get the service in Europe when you guys went this year.
Yeah.
And I do like someone refilling my drink. Like you said, that was hard to get done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually just leave you like one of those refillable glass bottles. They
Yeah.
just go do their own thing.
Yeah. Or Aquapana or whatever, you know?
So we are a little spoiled here in America and we like our drinks filled.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I don't know.
I'm willing to tip for that,
You
I
know,
guess.
I think my stance on it is like, be bold. You don't owe anybody anything. And if, you know what, like there's an etiquette to do something a certain way and if do that if that like makes sense to you, and if it doesn't make sense to you, don't do it. But be fair, you know.
I made great money serving and bartending. I mean, it was more than I probably could have made doing anything else at that age.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I don't get the poor me, I don't make enough thing.
Yeah.
Because even at $1.90 an hour, I still did well
Yeah.
with the tips. So I don't get this entitlement.
I can agree with that.
Oh, you guys both agree? Nobody's going to argue with me? The argument I see a lot online is these poor servers only make less than this. We must give them more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's a command.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing your job, it will come. Right? Because people, and if you're doing your job, you're going above and beyond and you're not making it, go to a different restaurant.
Yeah. You have to have a passion for it.
Yeah.
If you really want that money.
Yeah.
That's why it's fast money. Like you have to work for it. You have to put on a show.
You do. And when you don't feel good, you still have to show up. When stuff's happening at home, you still have to smile. And sometimes it feels cringy and fake.
But it works.
It's real.
You know what? You make some good money doing it if you do it right. You know what it feels like though? This wave, what it feels like the employers are doing. It feels like our corrupt government right now.
It does.
They're making it seem like the employees are the bad people, but the government's really the bad people, right?
Yes.
Like they're pointing at what is it? Like these institutions that the government raises, and then the people are mad at the institutions, but who's really the people that they should be mad at?
The employers who are not paying these guys enough.
Yep.
But I don't really believe in that. This is my soapbox moment. I don't believe they're not getting paid enough. If you've got a bartender getting mad because she only got $10 for 2 minutes of work and she's got multiple tables going on, how much? She's probably making $50 to $100 an hour. I don't know bartenders like who. I mean, they make a lot of money.
At my restaurant, they make 6 figures.
Yeah. So I'm having a hard time with these poor guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, it's the name of the job. Like, sometimes you're just going to have bad nights. Sometimes you're going to have good nights.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
so there's slow nights, but there's big nights.
Yeah. And it compensates and it averages out to a livable wage usually, most of the time, you know?
And my other argument is if this isn't for you and you feel entitled to it, this might not be the right job for you.
Yeah.
Because we're literally serving somebody.
Might be the wrong restaurant.
Your job is to serve somebody.
Yep. Might be the wrong restaurant.
Yeah.
If you
It
don't
could
like
just be the wrong restaurant if you're not making any money, wrong area.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Maybe I don't do good in fine dining, but I do good in a faster environment that's a little bit more casual.
I do better at Chili's.
Maybe you should move up to fine dining because there's more money in it.
And you have the personality for it. Yeah.
And the skill set. Yeah.
Next topic. Let's say you're going to dinner and you've decided to go with your friend and you're going to split the bill. But your friend orders a significant amount more than you.
Orders 4 cocktails.
Yes. What do you do?
I want to say what I would do.
I want what you want to say and what you would do.
I would want to say, you're going to pay for your own part, Pud.
See, I am the type, I'm a little bit too bold about it, I think, but I am the type if I was in a restaurant and I asked the server to split it, I'd say, can we have, our exact things on our
Oh, that's a good way
receipts?
to handle that. Just split it with the server. So there was a time you couldn't really do that, but they do have those point of system sales where that's pretty easy.
Yeah. Or you could say, can I split it in half, but have all of the drinks be put on this part of the bill?
So I have a
Be
friend.
the first one to speak to the server when the
Yes.
check comes around. I think that's a good route. Yeah.
I have a friend who we often split a meal with because she doesn't eat much and I probably eat more.
Yeah.
So it works out for me. But I don't think I pay more.
I think it depends on like the disparity between like what you ordered and they ordered. Because if
Well, we
it's not
usually
much,
split.
we'll just go half-half.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, here, just split it half-half.
Yeah, I feel like if they just ordered a drink more than me or anything, I'm kind of the type too.
But when
Let it
it's a
go.
lot, I think it is a good idea to, what I actually would do is talk to the server first. Be like, yeah, we're going to separate checks, please. I don't know. I think it's interesting though, when you have a penny pincher that's really counting every penny when it's, you could split it like in half, but it's like, you're missing like $5. You know, somebody didn't pay for $5 of the meal. I think it's interesting when they get really grouchy about it.
Are you talking about your father?
If it's a small disparity and you're throwing a fit over $5, I mean, who really? Come on.
So your dad likes things to be super fair.
Yeah.
And him and his brother, it's comical. Like they split the gas down to the penny if they go on a trip. It is down to the penny. And I find that stressful and fascinating because I'd be so afraid I'd forget something and offend that person.
Well, you know, you have like a relationship with somebody, like what goes around comes around, you know, like I got you this time, you got me next time. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like, bam, you know?
I love the ones who, okay, so I have a person in my life who we do this back and forth with, and I hope she doesn't watch this because she's going to know it's her. But if she pays one time, she feels like she's really done something.
Yeah.
So she's not going to pay again for many times.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one.
It is interesting, the delusion people have about how much they participate in a relationship.
I think it's really funny when I get a Venmo request for like $1.25.
Oh, that is hilarious. That's how you kids handle it?
Yeah.
So somebody sends, so whoever pays for it sends the request? Oh, wow.
But it's really, I think it's really funny. I mean, of
Decline
course,
it.
I'll send money, but I just think it's like when I get like a, can you send me 38 cents? I'm like, why? You know?
That's crazy.
I've gotten some ridiculous ones
that?
from friends. Yeah.
It is crazy. So,
You're joking, right?
You shorted me 25 cents. Can you send it to me on Venmo?
You really need that quarter?
I think $20 would be my threshold.
Yeah.
Maybe even.
I would go 10. I would go 10. 10's like pushing the limit for me.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Send me a 10, you know?
I get it. In college, that's different because you guys are, you know, how much time do you have to work? And you have to go to school.
Especially in this day and age. Yeah.
I totally get that. Where.
But if it's like $7, who cares?
Hey, you drank half my drink. Can I Venmo request you? You know?
You had 3 more ounces than me.
I feel like it causes more stress to like be fair, like to that degree than it would be to like, you know, just forget about it and hope that it comes back around. And if it doesn't, set strong boundaries.
I don't even mind paying the extra or doing the extra dinner, like when you're going back and forth. But when it becomes like, okay, I'm 4 in.
Yeah.
I get a little frustrated.
And then it's expected of you to, you know,
well, then I'm
carry
like,
the weight.
Did we forget that we're friends here?
Yeah.
And I'm not your benefactor?
Literally, yeah.
So didn't you have a friend who had a weird expectation of you?
Yes, it was. I was celebrating something, and one of my friends made a comment like, "Oh, I would really love a side of fries right now." And so I ordered some food for me and Tyler. Tyler had a bill open at the bar that we went to.
In case you didn't know, they're together.
Yes.
In case you haven't watched every one of our podcasts.
That's my smoking hot girlfriend.
So I went and I ordered food on Tyler's tab, and I let Tyler just save the table, and she followed me with. And so I kind of just thought that she was going to order her own food. I ordered my own, and they gave me one of those little buzzers, and I walked back to the table, and she walked back with me.
And this was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
This was your birthday.
So I turned around and I was like, "Hey, are you not going to order food, or do you just want to come with and just hang out?" You know? And she was like, "Oh, no." Kind of brushed it away. And then I went and I picked up the food once it was ready, and she made it very clear that, "Oh, I wanted to split some food with my friend. Like, I can't believe that you didn't do that." I've never been put in one of those situations before.
It was really strange.
It's
Right?
really strange since it was
weird to watch.
your birthday. She
It
should
was
be
my
offering
birthday.
to buy you french fries
I
or
feel
something.
like if she would have looked at me and said, "Hey, can you order this?" and we split it, I'd be like, "Yeah, absolutely." You know, there was no communication behind it. So then it kind of turned me into people pleasing a little bit. I feel like if I've been put in situations like that before, I usually just pretend that I didn't say anything, you know, just to make sure that
sometimes
nobody's
it's just
uncomfortable.
like not worth it.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
It's like-
It was like a really like strong expectation. It was a really weird expectation.
it was just a side of fries.
And she was kind of upset about it.
She was pretty upset about it. Yeah.
It's really weird, like specifically on your birthday, to feel entitled to these fries that she didn't really communicate that strongly about, and then to throw a fit in front of everybody.
It was a very bizarre thing to happen. And it's like hearing you talk about it now or me talk about it now, I'm just like, this does not even sound like a problem. but it was a problem in the moment.
Go up and go buy yourself some fries.
Maybe
dog.
it wasn't. It's, sometimes when it's about the fries, it's not really about the fries. Maybe something else is
I
going
think it
on
was
in
really
her
about
life.
the fries.
No, I think it was about the fries.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's frightening.
It was really weird. It was really strange to watch that. And the level of the disappointment after and the manipulation that they brought you to, and to make you feel bad on your birthday that you didn't buy them fries.
That is just bizarre to me.
Yeah, it was an
Everyone
odd
should be buying you.
situation.
You shouldn't be paying for a thing.
I mean, I love her. She's one of my good friends. It was just odd. It
Why
was a
didn't you
little bit
buy
of
her
a
fries?
roadblock.
I did.
Oh,
It was
okay.
on my tab.
Okay.
It was Tyler's tab, so he did buy me fries. I just didn't know that she wanted some. I was
Okay.
only ordering food for me and Tyler.
Okay, so
You know.
I'm wondering if the financial, inflation it's hurting people. Like, are we getting down to this is a deal?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where this is, she might be that upset because our times are getting that tough. I mean, food is expensive right now.
Yeah.
It truly is. You guys eat at home a lot, right?
Yeah. But like, get
It
a
was
Big Mac.
it was a little dive bar though. It was like $3-4
Yeah.
fries.
Get a Big Mac.
I did buy her fries after.
Yeah.
I felt bad, but
Yeah.
it was a weird people pleasy situation. I was like, I've
Just
never
to
had
try
such
smooth
a
it over because it's not that big of a deal.
Exactly. I was like, I've never really had an issue for some
With fries on my birthday before, but
no,
here
I
we
know
are.
this about you.
Yeah.
If this isn't like repeatable behavior, I think I'd give somebody a pass one time
Yeah,
on
it was
crazy behavior.
I was like, you know what? She was drinking. Who knows?
Okay, guys, it's your first date. Tyler asked you out. Who should pay?
Tyler.
I think it just depends on how you navigate your relationships.
It's your first date.
First
For
date?
me, in my terms, I would want him to pay.
What if you asked him out?
I would still want him to pay.
Me too.
I think
agree.
that also just depends on like how you navigate relationships. Like if you find value in a man taking that initiative, then that's what works for you. If you find value in going 50-50, that's what works for you.
I feel
I'm-
like if
I'm not
you're the girl and you ask the guy out on a date, you should be prepared. Because
I think so too. Because you never know how a
never
guy
know,
will react
right?
to it, right?
Yeah, but if he's a stand-up gentleman, he'll probably pay for the first bill. you know?
I fully agree. I think you should be prepared to pay if you ask the guy out. But if you are my son, you should be paying for the first date.
I agree. Yeah,
He paid for the first date.
Okay.
I pay for the first date. Yeah,
Just making sure.
yeah. And then moving forward, you can split it however you want.
Yeah.
She buys a meal sometimes. I buy her meal sometimes.
Okay, how does that work out?
I think I buy the majority of meals.
Yeah, you do.
Do you guys think that works?
It's more, I feel like the only times I really do pay is when I offer.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
rare that Tyler asks me to pay.
So when I met your father, I was recently divorced and I did not want a man to take care of me. So I paid for half of everything. So what happened is we did a lot of really fun stuff, like expensive stuff, and I didn't make as much money as him. So I went into credit card debt, trying to keep up.
Yeah.
And this is why I lecture everyone about credit cards. But I dug my whole way out of it. But it was insane because I was going to pay for half. And then he started to expect it. So I remember one time, like he paid for dinner and then it was my turn and he handed me the bill. And I was like, are you joking me? Because his family was with us.
Oh.
And I was like, I think I did something wrong here. But this was 30 years ago, folks. I'm not mad about it anymore. But how I see things now, if I were, in those shoes again, and how we talked about it later after we kind of worked that out, is he made probably 5 times as much money as I did.
Yeah.
And our money was separate. Our money was separate up until probably 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of kept this as part of our relationship. So because he made 5 times as much, he paid for probably 5 meals and then I'd pay for 1.
Yeah.
And that kind of made sense for us. And people, you have to figure out your own thing. But I felt like I wanted to contribute sometimes, but I also did a lot. I felt, and this is probably into traditional values, like because we lived together, we weren't married at the time. Sorry, God. And but I did the cleaning, I did the cooking, I did the household stuff. So I kind of felt like it's okay if he bought me a dinner.
That's kind of how me and Tyler's divide is. We don't live together, but it's more he'll pay for dates and then maybe I'll go buy some groceries and make dinner for 1 or 2 nights, you know, and contribute in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
In the olden days, in my dad's days, there's no way he still wouldn't be, even up till the day he died, let me pay for a meal. He would not let a woman pay for a meal.
Wow.
There's no way. He didn't even care if it was rude. Like it would have he was very much a gentleman. Like he always made sure he put you in between the street and the,
That's sweet.
men. I mean, he's very much a
I
gentleman.
would like to be able to buy every meal and
We're
pay for
also
every
young,
groceries,
right?
but we're young, you know,
Yes.
like
I feel like
making our
if you
way
were
to a
established and older,
Yeah.
I would have different,
yeah.
you know, but we're 24, we're young, we're figuring it out. I don't think that those expectations matter right now.
yeah.
I think I agree, but I think it's good if you guys can equally or contribute what makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
agree. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm
because
doing,
it would suck to feel like, you know, like you're being taken advantage of. I know you wouldn't do that, obviously,
Yeah.
but like, you know, but there's the role that I think that a man has to provide, right? And
and you gladly take that
I
role,
gladly, yeah.
and you gladly accept that he takes that role.
But it'd be nice if every once in a while she participated.
Yeah, and she does.
I do.
And she does, exactly.
I just want to make sure that was on there.
She
And
totally
she
does. She totally does. Yeah, yeah.
I kind of think that whoever invites the person pays for it. So like if I invite you, if we're not planning like an event, hey, let's everyone get together, but hey, let's go out to dinner. I kind of think if that's the invitation, I'm going to pay. Even as couples sometimes, if it's kind of my event or, you know what I mean? I don't mind paying.
I think specifically for friends.
I think it's interesting when I've purchased somebody many meals and then they invite me to dinner that I still am expected to pay. And I think that is weird and I don't like it.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, for my age right now, I think like the rule of thumb is if we're going to both choose to go out to dinner together, we're going to pay for our own stuff. Like if Javi came over and we're like, oh, we're hungry. And like we order something or we're going to like, hey, you want to go like grab a bite real quick? Like we just pay for your own stuff. You got to,
And I think that should be normal, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the expectation should be you're paying for your own. And then if someone says out loud, hey, I'm going to pay for this.
yeah.
And
That's
it's
the
a
only
gift.
time it
Then
should
it's a
be
gift.
appropriate.
Yes.
But if you can't pay for your own meal,
Or you have the expectation that's wrong.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't go.
you shouldn't
Yeah.
go. Yeah. If you can't pay for it, you have the
Again,
expectation.
it's just like on the first date, be prepared to pay,
yeah. Be prepared to pay.
but don't be expected that
Yeah.
somebody else is going to pay for you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You shouldn't have the pressure to pay for everybody's meal, right? Like
What-
you shouldn't feel like you have to.
So what if you don't drink alcohol and you're taking somebody out? Say, hey, I want to take you out for dinner. You just did a lot for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that you've done for me. I want to take you as a thank you. But you don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
I am the type, like I said earlier, I'm the type to be like, hey, I didn't drink. How should we split this?
Well,
You
you've
know.
invited them and going to take them out though.
Oh, and you said you're going to pay for their meal.
Yeah.
I would say first drink on me.
That's fair. That's fair. Your grandma handles this well. She just, everyone knows if you go eat with grandma, she's not buying your drinks. Like, you know what I mean? And most people don't even,
Yeah.
like we don't even, nobody drinks
I
with
think
her.
that's kind of appropriate, right?
Yeah, I
Everybody
think so.
drinks differently.
Yeah. First drink on me. And, you know, like drinks are expensive. I'm not going to blow $50 watching you have 5 drinks, like or
Yeah.
4 or 3, however
Yeah,
where
that
we're
wasn't
at.
the intention to sit here and watch you get drunk while yeah.
Yeah.
So what about if you are invited to dinner and you know you're going to get paid for, how do you order?
I think you should just let the other person order first. Gotta watch their lead.
Yeah. I think that's smart. I would say like medium priced options.
So I think when I would tell you if you're going to go out with a girlfriend's dinner, I would always tell you order less than you would do with us.
Yeah.
And always order less than the host. And don't ever choose the highest most expensive thing in the option. And I always wanted you to order less than the host did.
Yeah.
So if they ordered a $20 item, you know, you need to go less than 20.
Unless they're over exuberant about me ordering whatever I wanted.
I fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Because when we eat out, it's an experience.
yeah. There was
Yeah.
a time when we went to Europe to like your home country in Romania, like, you know, like there was like, we went to like some nice restaurants and I'm like, I don't know what to get. I think I should get this option. And you're like, have fun, get whatever you want, you know? And I'm like, sure. And you're like, yeah, do it. Like,
Yes. So I think that
that
was
makes
a great
sense.
way to handle it because you asked.
Yeah, we have that comfort though where I could be
Yeah.
honest with you and be like, hey, I don't know if that's appropriate
Yeah.
for this group, you know?
Exactly.
I feel like if you ask other people, they might people please you and be like, yeah, do whatever. But then really they'll be upset.
Even
you know?
then, though, I think it's a good idea to like aim for a medium priced.
I think so too.
When you know you're not paying. But
Yeah.
I also think, I don't know, when the three of us, when we go out to eat, we kind of like it's an experience. So
Yeah.
I want you guys to enjoy yourselves, but you guys know that.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
that made me
Yeah.
nervous when I first met Tyler.
I mean, it's not like I'm getting like a deluxe cold seafood tower for myself, right?
No,
like,
but
you know.
if you wanted to, you would ask.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's just extra. Like if I'm gonna order like a nice meal, like in my terms, I might get like a medium high priced or item, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but we're family. It's different.
Yeah,
Like,
if with you guys, but maybe like her family, like in that instance in
Oh,
like
I
Europe,
see what
right?
you're
Like
saying.
maybe I'll get the medium high thing this time.
yes. So I think how I would handle, I mean, I guess that's what the etiquette is
Yeah.
you eat less than your host.
Don't be an a-hole.
The etiquette is to tip 20% more if they go above and beyond. That's the current etiquette. I didn't make the rules.
I got a thing for that. So like for me, it's easy to calculate the 20% because you just move the decimal over and then you double it. And then from there, so like say you have like, it's like a $35 tab, you move it over 3.5, $7 is what you would pay if it was 20%. However, if it was like like the change, you know, like to round up to the dollar amount or below the dollar amount, I'll round up if they've been pretty cool. And I'll round down to the next dollar amount if they've been not so cool.
So on bartenders, I probably would tip 20% as well. I don't know if it's the expectation anymore, but you know what I mean? 4 or 5 beers to tip $20 does seem excessive to me. I might have done that anyway, just because I've worked in the industry, but I do understand why people get upset about it.
Yeah.
There is, you know, if you do dine with somebody, be respectful, pay your fair share. I
Yeah.
mean, these are just normal things, but I see why people are getting edgy with how much things cost.
Times is changing.
Yep, they are. I mean, food's expensive, eating out's expensive. You guys cook at home more than ever, correct? Because
I like it that way though.
But it's fun.
yeah, and you guys cook good.
Yeah, we have fun.
I like to upgrade them skills.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us again, talking about the important matters of life, how much to tip people, how you feel about it. Please write your perspectives because maybe, you know, we're missing something. We missed the boat. Anyway, thanks for tuning into Soapy Box.
Make
See
sure
you
to
next-
like, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And I like this episode. I thought it was fun to talk about a little more practical things than such deep,
Yeah,
scary
it's a
stuff.
fun little episode, huh?
Yeah, we usually talk about deep, scary things sometimes.
Comment if you want us to talk about less deep, scary things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you.
See you soon.